Hey there, English learners. Let's talk about adjectives. These little words can make a big difference in your writing. Adjectives are like spices in your writing. Just like a pinch of salt or a dash of pepper can transform a dish, adjectives can transform your sentences. They add flavor and make your sentences more interesting. Without them, your writing might seem bland and unexciting. They describe things, people, and places. For example, instead of just saying a car, you can say a shiny red car. Think about the difference between a car and a shiny red car. The adjectives shiny and red give you a clearer picture. See how much more interesting that is? Adjectives help paint a vivid picture in the reader's mind. Now imagine you want to describe the best thing you've ever seen. You wouldn't just say it's good, you'd use a superlative. This is where superlatives come in. Superlatives help you express the highest degree of something. Superlatives help you express the highest degree of something. They tell us what is the most beautiful, the tallest, or the fastest. They tell us what is the most beautiful, the tallest, or the fastest. These words help you convey the ultimate quality of something. Using superlatives correctly is important for clear communication. It ensures that your message is understood as you intended. Imagine telling someone you saw the big house when you meant to say the biggest house. The difference is crucial. They might get confused and think you are talking about a different house altogether. We don't want that. So, remember to use adjectives and superlatives to make your writing clear and engaging. So how do we use superlatives correctly? Superlatives are used to show the highest degree of equality among three or more items. The basic rule is to add est to the end of short adjectives. This is the simplest way to form superlatives for one-syllable adjectives. For example, tall becomes tallest, and small becomes smallest. Easy, right? These are straightforward examples that help us understand the concept better. But what about longer adjectives? They follow a different rule. When an adjective has two or more syllables, we usually add most before it. This helps to simplify the structure and make it easier to understand. For example, we say most beautiful and most interesting, not beautifulest or interestingest. This rule helps maintain clarity in our language. That sounds silly, doesn't it? Using est with longer adjectives can make sentences awkward and confusing. Here's another important point. We use than after a comparative adjective, taller than, more interesting than, but we use of after a superlative adjective. This distinction is crucial for proper grammar. We say he is the tallest of all the boys, or this is the most delicious cake I've ever eaten. These examples show how superlatives are used in everyday language. Remember these simple rules, and you'll be well on your way to mastering superlatives. Practice regularly, and soon it will become second nature. Let's dive a little deeper into the different forms that superlatives can take. Sometimes the spelling changes a bit when you add est or most. For example, the superlative of easy is easiest, and the superlative of happy is happiest. And don't forget about irregular adjectives. These are words that don't follow the regular rules. For example, the superlative of good is best, and the superlative of bad is worst. It takes some practice to remember these, but you'll get there. Section 4. Common superlative mistakes. Even native English speakers make mistakes with superlatives sometimes. One common mistake is using most when it's not needed. For example, we don't say most unique or most perfect. These words already mean the most of something, so adding most is redundant. Another common mistake is forgetting to use the before a superlative adjective. We say she is the tallest girl in the class, not she is tallest girl in the class. The tells us that we are talking about a specific person or thing that is the most of something. By avoiding these common errors, your English will sound much more natural and fluent. Section 5. Beyond superlatives, absolute adjectives, and more. In this section, we will delve deeper into the fascinating world of adjectives. Now that we've covered superlatives, let's talk about a few other important adjective rules. These rules will help you understand how to use adjectives more effectively in your writing and speech. Some adjectives are considered absolute. These are adjectives that describe qualities that are either present or not, with no middle ground. This means they can't be compared. You can't have something that is more or less absolute. For example, something is either unique or it's not. The term unique means one of a kind, so it can't be more unique or the most unique. It can't be more unique or the most unique. This is a common mistake, but understanding absolute adjectives helps avoid it. We also use elder and eldest to talk about the age of people within a family. These terms are specific to familial relationships. For instance, my elder sister is a doctor. This usage is different from older and oldest, which can be used more generally. Finally, remember that adjectives come in different flavors: comparative and superlative. Comparative adjectives compare two things, while superlative adjectives compare three or more. Use better and best when comparing two or more things, but stick to good when you're not making a comparison. This helps clarify your meaning. For example, this is a good book versus this is the best book I've ever read. Understanding these distinctions will make your language more precise and effective. Section 6. Conclusion: keep practicing. Congratulations, you've learned a lot about adjectives and superlatives. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you use these words in your writing and speaking, the more confident you will become. Don't be afraid to experiment and make mistakes. That's how we learn and grow. Keep up the great work, and happy writing.